Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Victory Tuesday. Welcome to the morning hookup. Looks like you heard it. Boy, if you're feeling down, that'll get you up. Woo! Welcome in to a beautiful start to a Tuesday. Well, Nebraska hoops. Couple of segments of Nebraska hoops this morning because we'll have. I got to say this right because it's a new era. We'll talk Husker hoops. And the Nebraska Sports Media Association award-winning sports writer Robin Washington in transit, probably back to the airport. He'll make his way back to Lincoln after being in Columbus, Ohio last night. So top 10 team winning another game last night. We'll have Robin Washington. We'll talk about NFL playoffs today. Probably it's time to make our predictions, bracket predictions. We'll do that. Then we're going to talk Husker football. This is crazy. It is wild. Though. Talking about Wild Wild West. We just became victim of the Wild Wild West yesterday. We'll get into that. Stories we missed and a whole lot more. Good morning, Elijah.
Good morning. It was a heck of a night last night in terms of news.
I mean, but here's like one. There was news. Well, first of all, you got the weird 5:30 start time. All right, we got that going on. During this whole thing, you get that news. I don't know if you did what I did last night, but I also caught the fourth quarter of the FCS National Championship last night. The Redbirds and Montana State. That thing was insane. The last 3 minutes, I didn't know how to handle myself. I couldn't even go to bed last night with everything was going on. So it was a wild one. It was wild, but no, hey.
First, the good news, Husker basketball.
15-0.
The Husker football team didn't let you get 15 minutes of enjoyment after the game of that win. But
thanks.
15-0, Braden Frager, stand up.
My gosh. You know what? I wrote down 3 names. First of all, you get it done in a very gritty performance, 72-69. You get it done. You bust out early. You're up 14. You know Ohio State was going to fight. They got Thornton. Mobley was fantastic last night. The local kid, Bynum.
Amari Bynum.
Woo! He's a physical specimen. Hey, Bynum, we beat you. If you ever want to come back, Fred, that's a dude.
You want to come play with Braden Frager next year?
That's a dude.
You got a spot.
Just throwing it out there. But what a gritty performance. When again, you look at it 15-0. It's a game that you also we won it differently again. Your top 2 guys on paper, not good. Rank off. Price off.
Price was more than just off. He was generally frustrated throughout the game.
Yes, but
he had a I won't say poor body language because that's harsh, but he had a different body language about him yesterday.
Yeah, it was like not depressed. I'm gonna say that. Like, is it ever gonna happen? I just need one. Come on, please. But I thought I had somebody text me, and I'm not grown up in the hooping world or played hoops or I shot, whatever. But he said, because I know we talk about Price's release. It was so quick last night. It was like a hot potato. He said it did not look right coming out of his hand.
There was that one.
More of the line drive of like not an arch. It was just weird.
There's that one coming off the screen in the second half, right from the top of the key where he fired it up, and it was the worst miss I've ever seen him have.
Ever.
Where he barely grazed the side of the rim. He was a good foot left with his shot. Like that was the one where I'm like, all right, something's off tonight. I never seen him miss that bad. But yet other guys step up. And it's the way in which, guys had to step up differently. Because in the first half, that was, and we talked about points yesterday on the show. Yesterday, the first half is what I thought it would be with points.
Yep.
And in the second half, is the defenses came to play. Things really tightened up.
And it wasn't like Michigan State. It was really good defense on both ends. Now, Nebraska, 8 turnovers in the first half, only had 4 in the second half, valued the basketball in the second half. But I wrote down 3 names that I thought were your top 3 guys. And you could put them in any order. Burke, phenomenal basketball game he played.
Yes, he did.
8.7 boards. Phenomenal basketball game. Defensively, that was one of his toughest games I think he played as a player.
Agreed, 100%.
Sam Hoiberg, once again, 8, 9, and 4. That's the line.
How many steals did he have?
Let me go back. I just wrote down the assists. 8, 9, 4, 2 steals. Put that in there. Two steals.
1 turnover in the game. 8-9, 4, 2-1. There's your line. Tough basketball. His defense on Thornton was phenomenal. And I mean, Thornton's going to show up, and he had 16 and 5 and 7 assists. He was good, but he was not what Thornton usually is. Sam was really good on him.
Yeah.
Frustrated him a lot, especially in the first half. I think, what do you have, 2 or 4 in the first half? That was it.
Who was the guy in the studio post-game afterwards that was talking about how surprised and impressed he was with?
Was the guy in the pink jacket that was like, Nebraska's good? Like, he hated Nebraska?
He looked like it was the first time he had seen a Husker basketball game this year.
It was.
And he was mentioning the fact, man, pregame, I circled the fact that Thornton-Hoiberg matchup I thought was going to be bad for Nebraska, but step up, Sam Hoiberg, your dad should be proud. And I'm like, that's what he's been doing.
But again, that goes back to a lot of these guys have not seen Nebraska play.
Yeah.
That's not to any fault of them. It's just now we're prominent.
The stat I saw yesterday before this game that I just like to quickly bring up when it comes to Sam Hoiberg. It's going to take me a second to pull it up here. There are 8 players in the country with an assist rate over 22, a steal rate over 3, and an offensive rating over 133.
Step up, Sam Hoiberg.
6 of them are essentially All-Americans. One of them is Sam Hoiberg.
My gosh.
We're talking Cam Boozer, Bennett Sturtz.
Wow, you're in like
Boopy Miller, Jaden Bradley, Tyler Tanner, Sam Hoiberg.
I mean, you got those two. Can we just throw in? Like this goes without saying. Brandon Frigger just grew up last night. That was big boy men basketball he played late in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy. I know that a lot of people around the country are like he's such a this and that. That's a guy you want on your basketball team. He is not playing. He's not a freshman.
No,
he is not. You can call him a freshman or whatever it is. That dude was in beast mode last night, late in that game.
On a team full of veterans, aside from the occasional emotional moment, he does not play like he is not a veteran.
No.
He's got the confidence of a vet. He's got the skills of a vet. He's got the just workload on both sides of the floor of a vet. He doesn't take plays off. Now, is he going to pick up the occasional technical and get in your face? Yeah,
absolutely. Because he almost had one last night looking like a clear cut hook and hold. I thought it was, and I disagree with the ref, but that's fine. Whatever, moving on. But he's also got it in that mode, has got to understand now they're looking for him.
Yeah, they're looking
now
for him.
With whatever the trigger, whatever that happened was, now he's a physical, all this. He's going to be one they're going to be looking at.
I also think that he needs to understand that even if the opposition are targeting you, the refs are watching for you, you're still a guy. The team is going to feed off your juice just a little bit.
Yes,
so they are. You got to bring the juice, but that's we talk about offensively, defensively. Yes, he's grown up. Maturity-wise, how do you grow up while still keeping that same fire?
Yes.
It's a fine line to ride. You got to keep the fire. You got to keep the intensity. You got to keep that element that your teammates will feed off of.
You know where
but you also can't hurt your team.
You know where that's at? That's the veterans on this team that will keep him that way. If you notice that going back to Michigan State when he got the tech, who was the first guy to give him a hug and hang on to him?
Rick Mast.
You
see last night,
those are the guys that are going to keep him like, hey, they're going to slap him on it. Go, you got to stop.
Whenever he got that step through on Amari Bynum in the and one late in that basketball game, I think it put Nebraska up. Was that up 5? 5. Up 6. I'm not sure if you noticed. Whenever he was walking back to the huddle, he was doing a little bit of chirping. He got pulled away, and again, that's exactly what you want.
Hey, get a little into you. Boom, play the part. Then stop. But he was 24 minutes last night, 6 of 9, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. He did have 6 boards as well, 15 total points. Phenomenal basketball game for him. Also, I know we talked, but those are, I think, your main 3. I mean, again, Rank did what Rank needed to do. It was fine. They just weren't him and Sanford just both off. I also thought Kel Jigson did a phenomenal job defensively late in that game. He is a offensive, I don't want to call him liability. Okay, I don't want to dog the kid.
Hey,
it's like 5-on-4.
He got himself to the line, got himself to the line. But you're not expecting the 10-point explosion from him.
No.
You're hoping for somewhere between 4 and 6 points.
But I thought he played really good on defense late in the game and handling the ball in that game because I, as a fan, I thought we were going to get a little bad spot when the under 4-minute timeout took us to like the 2:20, my skin was crawling watching DeMarcus Lawrence sit over there at the scores table for like 3 minutes. Like, we need him back in the game. But Kale did a nice job on the defensive end last night with the boards.
Do you want to hear a fun fact here about Kel Jacobson?
Let me hear. He was +7, by the way. He was
how many minutes did he record?
18 minutes.
That's what I thought. Nebraska is now 23-0 in games where Kale Jacobson has recorded 10+ minutes. If he's recorded 10+ minutes, Nebraska's never lost.
They've also never lost since Fred's other son has joined the team.
Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie. That's the X factor. But a big win for Nebraska to go out there on the road. Honestly, lead for almost every bit of this game until they lost that lead to like a 1 or 3 point lead, and they took it back. And they just finished the game strong. That's what tough teams do. You finish the game strong. Now you get a chance to reset.
And you find a way.
You find a way.
On the road. Minden went on the road, and those guys went and found a way. Ohio State made it really tough on them. There were some moments of doubt in the second half. All that being said, you pick your time for the run. You go on that run, you make that run, you win the basketball game, you're on to Indiana.
For me, it was the first time as a fan. I've been doing this a long time and watching Husker hoops for a long time and going to games. It was the first time for me when Ohio State took the lead, I didn't get nervous.
I was in the same way.
I did not.
Because that was right whenever I had gotten home. I'd gotten home from work here. Mm-hmm. My roommate's on the couch watching basketball. Ohio State takes the lead, and he starts panicking. I go, how are you panicking?
I think this team.
How many times have you seen this team?
For the first time since I've been in Lincoln and watching basketball. Because I think over the time we've been conditioned, like, you know what? But I could have seen them lose this game, right? You could have seen them lose this game for sure.
But it wasn't the wheels were going to fall off in that moment.
No, because a typical Nebraska team, and the big picture would be, oh crap, we're up 14. They cut it to 5 at half. Oh, we got it back to 8. They're up 3. We're going to lose by 12. Like it's going to completely fall off the rails because they went almost 4 minutes without scoring a bucket. Nebraska did in that stretch.
But this new team, you've seen it multiple times. You saw it on the road against Illinois. You saw it really against Michigan State as well. You've seen it now grow on the road again against Ohio State. This team, whenever they have the tight moments, the moments where a lot of teams would have said, uh-oh, here we go. This team just doubles down and sticks to their guns. They stick to who they are. There's no panic in this team. They're, for the most part, it feels like they're playing most of the game without the scoreboard being on.
They are. It's not even a view. Speaking of someone that's never seen something that we've also almost never seen, that's a top 10 team, and it says Nebraska by it. This guy was there last night. We'll get his take and a whole lot more from my award-winning sports writer coming up, Robin Wash at HuskerOnline.com. He should be, he might be in transit when we call him.
Okay.
I talked to him last night about his flight timing when he's getting back. So we will have him. Good morning, Flood Egg. Good morning, Shane. Now. Do you find yourself now, like my kid and I, it's a kid thing, and now I'm doing it? Every time, so I'm retweeting this right quick. Every time that there's a 3 made, we're going, boom, in the living room. Every time. Now he's got me doing it. Oh, yeah, he gave it to me. He goes, Dad. I go, okay. But we're yelling. My wife is like getting scared every time because I'm sitting in my chair. She's over here in her chair like this. And then Ty's sitting behind. Boom! Hey, we're going to give Robin 10 minutes, 9:30.
Okay.
He said he'll laugh and give me like 10 minutes on a shuttle bus and don't want to be a phone D-bag.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
We got you. We'll do a We'll just do a little quick one, come back, take another break, and then we'll have them. How about that?
We can do that.
About that.
And we can talk.
I want to talk. I want to bring up this FCS championship last night.
I didn't watch it.
Oh,
dude. You know what's crazy? I'd already gone to bed. By the time you guys were sending texts, I was asleep.
What?
I got like 11 hours of sleep last night. I'm feeling great.
That was phenomenal game last night. It was just the all you had to do was like watch the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter in overtime.
What's overtime?
Yes. I don't know if I can give this game justice of how crazy it was.
Speaking of justice, missed that guy.
Yeah, where is he?
Still at home. I think he's back.
Have we got an official time back?
I think he's back Thursday.
Like in studio with us Thursday?
I don't know.
Arlo says my 5-year-old started a threes, please. When we knock down one, he absolutely screams. It drives his mother nuts.
He's just like me.
Yeah, we're set up like this. And Ty's here.
Come back. Come back.
Welcome back to the morning hookup. Good, happy Tuesday, happy Victory Tuesday. We were just saying during the stream, my kid's got me. He's 15. I'm at the games doing it now too. First of all, 3 goes up and hits me with that, right? But then it's like it goes in from the back, goes boom, like out loud in the living room. So it's a setup where it's like I'm in a chair, my wife's in a chair, and it scares the crap out of her. Boom, because we're knocking out both times at the same time.
As we're knocking down threes. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And Arlo said, my 5-year-old and I started a threes, please. When we knock down one and absolutely screams it. He screams it and it drives his mother nuts.
You know what I love about
there's a Nebraska basketball movement happening.
That's
it's getting to you.
So I was just about to say is what I love about this team so far this year is there are lots of folks that have never given 2 craps about Husker basketball that now are locked in.
Yes.
Are now like, oh, I'm understanding finally how fun this team is. Because there's some lifelong Husker basketball folks out there.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you. I would say I'm pretty much one of you. There were some years that, you don't want to watch this team. But for the most part, I remember growing up, going to the Doc Sadler years where you were hoping to beat Mizzou 53-51 in a rock fight.
50? Yeah. 50 got you like free milk and stuff. We did it. Please take the back of your game ticket today.
For a free gallon of milk.
They used to do that Stars game.
Huskers,
half gallon.
The Huskers scored 40.
Yeah. They had ranges back then. 30 to 40 got you money off.
Get you half off. Yeah.
About 40 to 45, 75% off.
The Huskers scored 50. A gallon of milk was free.
Yeah.
Super saver.
Yeah.
You
know what else?
But like I remember growing up going to those games, and the thought of having a top 10 Husker team was so unthinkable. And I loved some of those teams back in the day. Brandon Ubell.
Oh,
Lance Jeter.
Man, the history of players that we got a chance to watch.
Ray Gallegos.
Oh, even like some of the big like Almeida.
Jorge Brian Diaz.
Oh, God. Joe McRae was kind of solid, sneaky good back in the day, right? All right. But you go through that and like, I think for me also, I'm a college basketball fan at heart. I'm a college sports for sure, more than NBA or professional stuff. But I always gone to games, no matter what, right? No matter what. But the addition of having a partner to go with you, my kid, who is just locked into doing this stuff, has made it that much more fun. One kid that doesn't matter. He's a Husker. Like, he loves the Tar Heels. But going to a game with him, and he's a student of the game, and he's one that no matter what, if we're getting our butts whooped or if we're winning by 30, guess what we don't do? We don't leave. He's like, if we're going to endure and be a real fan, we're going to endure the sadness, the badness, and we're going to endure the greatness. Because you remember those times.
Well,
and dude, he can still remember Like he's walked out of one game in his entire life because he was so mad. I can't remember the year, but it's when Iowa came to town and just thrashed us.
Well, and to your point here, my dad was a transplant into Nebraska as well. Grew up in Denver. Was always a big Broncos fan. And then he loosely followed Husker football because Husker football, this was late 90s, early 2000s. There were some good years back there. It wasn't until the Bo Pelini years, whenever I was old enough to really want to start going to games and watching Husker football and whatnot, that my dad actually started caring. He would follow along. He would know what was happening. He'd watch some of the games, not all the games, but some of the games. And then I came along, and now it's, he's got someone to go with. He's buying season tickets. He's going every single Saturday. It's interesting because my dad kind of went through the same thing where it was having somebody else, two boys, to go to football games with that made him up.
Yes,
he's a Husker fan,
and it's so much fun because, like, and again, there's a lot of them. They hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, my kid's like, nope, we ain't leaving. Where do you go? No, I'm good, bro.
Same way. My dad wanted to leave the halftime of that Ohio State Nebraska.
You're not leaving, Dad.
Inaugural game in the Big Ten. You remember that one?
Yep.
Nebraska's down big at half. It's raining. It's cold. Just kind of crappy there at the stadium. The mood's low. Dad wanted to go. I said, And we got to see greatest comeback in Husker history.
Speaking of not leaving a game, real quick, FCS championship last night. Montana State in overtime wins 35-34 in a game that is just incredible. When you look at, you got to go watch the highlights on this. My wife actually was engaged with it last night. She's like, I think I'm going to go to bed. I said, I think you should just hang out for a little bit longer and watch this. So the Montana State was number 2 in that league, right? They were 0-2. They won 14, now 15 straight games to win the championship.
They started the year 0-2. Who'd they lose to?
I don't even. I have to go back and look. They lost to 2. They lost 2. I just heard this last night. I haven't watched anything of this until last night. The Redbirds of Illinois State, they finished. They had 5. They were 12-5 finish. They were the Cinderella of this entire thing going on. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter to tie this thing up. Okay, this is the ending of this fourth quarter. So Illinois State driving, tied up 28-28. They've got a field goal attempt from 33 yards with like 50 seconds left. Guy comes down the edge, gets unblocked, block field goal. And it bounces. So essentially, they get the ball about midfield. Montana State does. They go, whatever, 3rd and 8. Quarterback's not looking. Snap.
No.
20-yard loss. They end up having the punt. They go to overtime.
No.
Second play in overtime. Illinois State. They get the ball first. Second play in overtime. Little pass, touchdown.
They go for 2, don't they?
Nope. They go to kick it. Block extra point. Same guy, but it's up the middle. Block extra point. Montana State scores extra point. They win the game 35-34, national championship. First time since 84. It would have been Illinois State's first ever.
Montana. That's closer to home.
That was like,
let it be known
that
by the
4
way.
minutes in overtime to watch what was happening. Mike Eckler was probably like taking his shirt off and ripping it, trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
That Montana State team, we talked about their 2 losses to open the season. That was at Oregon and South Dakota State. Montana State put up more points on Oregon than Texas Tech did. They scored 13 on them.
So, go watch SportsCenter, these highlights. It's the best. I'm now happy because it was the only thing on, then SportsCenter was coming on because I was going to watch SportsCenter because I wanted to watch the Husker stuff and then talk about Nebraska on SportsCenter finally. It was phenomenal. We could not get over what we just watched. But congrats, Montana State. So, all right, he's ready. We're going to take a break, and we are going to come back. He's at the airport. Award-winning journalist from HuskerOnline.com, Robin Washut. Just a phenomenal game. Go back. Yeah, Cookie Miller was fire. Yeah, he was. We have a 1 pointer finger to me. Oh, boy. Hope the phones are working. That was scaring me. You walked out like that. It's all good. But it was worth watching that game last night for sure. Who we got tonight? What'll be on tonight? Ooh, little ACC matchup on the night. Little college basketball ACC tonight. College hoops night tonight, by the way.
Bowling night, by the way.
You got bowling night. College, there's two really good matchups tonight. There's an ACC matchup. Puke in Louisville tonight. In Louisville. I might watch Michigan play tonight. I haven't seen them play. They like beating people like
40
every
week.
And then if you like college basketball like I do, there's a late one, 8 o'clock, Texas Tech, Houston tonight.
Ooh, that should be a good game. I don't know that much about Tech, but I know Houston's not as dominant as they traditionally are. They're good, don't get me wrong, but
so they'll be fun. That'll be my night. Or it might be a night I have to give up the remote to my wife or something.
Watch the end of Stranger Things.
I'm not. But you know what? I started that, and then my kids like went off on their own together, so I got out of it.
So yes, you get split off. Same thing happened.
I was watching
Pluribus with my roommates, and I got behind from them, and they finished it in like 3 days, and I went. I don't have the time in my life to watch an entire show in 3 days.
There's one on Netflix, 2 of them. But hey, you'd be proud of me. I was at home, like I had a really weird moment yesterday of being home for a minute. And I watched stuff in the morning too, like 6. You know what I watched yesterday? A Netflix documentary.
Elway.
Yep.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I meant to text you that. And I texted Raph. That thing. That, and there's another one called King of Collectibles.
Oh, I gotta get Robin online.
Yeah, King of Collectibles is a really good one on Netflix. If you like, if you're into the sports card, whatever collectible world, it's really good. It's with Golden Auctions. It's a really good one. Welcome back in the morning, Hookup. Again, happy Victory Tuesday. We got him. Robin Washington. Not yet. We're getting Robin Washington on the line. We're going to welcome him to the show in style. He might be at security. He said he was going through security. I didn't think award-winning. We have him. Welcome to the show, Nebraska Sports Media Association award-winning sports writer Robin Washington with HuskerOnline.com. Washington, congratulations, brother. Well earned and well deserved.
Well, thank you very much. I was very humbled and honored by the award, and I'll admit that's got a nice ring to it. So I'd like to be introduced as award-winning journalist at pretty much every interview now going forward.
I just set the tone. And I figured, you said you're going through security. I figured you just printed that certificate off and you just flashed it going through TSA.
I just showed my my NSMA award, and they're everybody stand back.
Also, stand back. The award-winning journalist is here. Also, I'm surprised that you're actually making it to the airport. I saw your tweet last night that somebody in that Ohio State press conference room said, Nebraska 15-0, but they're not that good. How did you not pop off at them?
You just smile and blast them, secretly on the internet. That's how we do it in 2026 now. But no, I didn't even know who they were. They were just some Ohio State guys. Like the Ohio State media that I know and respect. They didn't say anything. It was more just kind of like the third tier dudes, and there was a lot of salt in that room over that game, because I think it's just another example that a lot of people around the conference just don't want to believe Nebraska's good. And they're looking at this as a bad loss for Ohio State. And in a way, they were favored at home. So I get that. But you also got to understand your opponent is playing as well as, almost any team in the country right now. And they made the plays down the stretch on the road, and winning on the road, especially in Big Ten play, is one of the most difficult things you can do. So, like, at some point, you got to give some credit to your opponent and not just look at it like, oh, the refs hosed us. Oh, we didn't play well, and it was our mistakes that lost the game. I think you got to just kind of give hat tip to your opponent, because Nebraska made the plays and Ohio State didn't.
Well, it's one of the things that Nebraska is fighting this season, Rob. It's the preconceived notions and just the brand that Nebraska is. And I've said it before, if this Husker team had a logo like Duke or Purdue next to their name, I think they'd be a top 5 team, but they don't. They have to fight against those preconceived notions and those thoughts that people have. Well, it's Nebraska basketball. How good are they actually? Those are the things that they also have to fight this year, but it also feels like this team doesn't seem to care about any of those things.
Yeah, I mean, they were just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and the shoe won't drop. And it will eventually. Like, Nebraska's not going to go undefeated. I am fairly confident that they're not going to John Wooden UCLA run the table and have the most miraculous season in the history of college basketball. Like, so they're going to lose at some point. But I think the reality is that through 15 games, they've shown that this isn't just some flash in the pan, that they benefited from an easy schedule and haven't played anybody and are kind of a fool's gold team. Like, their wins now are looking really impressive. That win at Illinois, beating Ohio State as a dog on the road, the 30-point win over Wisconsin, whipping Creighton at home. Like, you just go down the list. Oklahoma's looking good. New Mexico's looking good. Like, they've got wins now that, unless you're just like fully head in the sand and just don't want to accept that Nebraska's good, you got to kind of give them, like I said, give them their due, that they've earned the right to be considered one of the nation's best right now. And they're starting to get there. Like, there's doubters, obviously, but like, you listen to, some of the bracketology going on right now. Like, I believe it was last night after the game, Mike DeCourcy said that he's got Nebraska as a 2 seed in the tournament with a ceiling of a 1. Like, the fact that is even being said on television right now is one of the most astonishing things I've ever seen in my career. Like, I covered a top 10 team last night, and we're talking about a potential 1 seed. Like, again, there's going to be a point where they don't get the bounces. They don't get the, game-changing plays in the final minutes to help them save victory. But I think through this point, we're almost halfway through the season now. They've shown that this team is real. And while they might trip up here and there, the fact that they've handled success so well, I think, is going to be equally valuable with how they handle failure. When they have that first loss, I'm as confident as ever in this group being able to bounce back from it because of the way that they've been able to kind of stay level with all the success that they've had and bring the same mentality every single night, despite all the roses they're getting on a national level.
Well, in this steady nature, Robin, it's not just through the course of a season. You see it through the course of games as well. Whenever previous Husker teams would have tightened up against Illinois. This team didn't tighten up. Previous Husker teams would have tightened up last night against Ohio State, but they stayed the course. They kept on fighting. You see this steady nature. It's not just game to game, but it's really minute to minute and half to half as they go through this 15-game winning streak to start the season. So many times they could have tightened up. They could have packed things in, and they never do.
And that just goes to their leadership and the fact that they have a bunch of men out there. Like, and Fred's kind of game plan when assembling this roster was he wanted to get old and stay old. And that will continue to be the method with how they construct this roster. And when you got a bunch of 24, 25, 23-year-old dudes out there that have played a ton of basketball, they don't get caught up in the moment like young kids do. And you see, especially last night, when Ohio State came charging back, Bruce Thornton hits that 3-pointer to give them their first lead. It was probably a 60% full crowd, but that was the loudest it got. And, on the road in a situation like that, they look tired. Sam Hoiberg said that he was just gasping for air by the end of that game. So I think fatigue was a factor for them down the stretch, but they gutted up and, they played like men. And that's kind of what Fred always says. He says, boys win at home, men win on the road. And they've only played 2 true road games, but those are about as impressive of 2 road wins as you can imagine for this group right now. And again, that gives you all the confidence in the world that, whether it's Indiana on Saturday or, maybe not quite Michigan yet at the end of the month, but, whoever they play, like maybe outside of Michigan, there's not a game on their schedule you're like, oh, Nebraska has no chance. And who knows? Maybe by the time January 27th rolls around, you're looking at that Michigan game a little bit differently, depending on what happens between now and then.
Well, Wash it. First of all, you had me looking like the FS1 studio guy last night and the pink coat that said he could hardly say Nebraska because he had not seen us play yet in his weird look. But you mentioned men and men winning basketball games. There were 3 of them last night. I know, again, I think Nebraska, again, won in a different way again last night with your 2 stars, let's call them, Mass and Sanford not on the top of their game. There were some men's stat lines last night, and you look at Sam, 8, 9, and 4, big-time game for him.
Mm-hmm.
His defense on Thornton is going to go unnoticed, but Thornton's going to have, 16? But those were the toughest 16 he's going to have all year long.
Yeah, two points in the first half.
Yep. And Burkay probably, I think, one of his best games, his toughest game as a Husker, 8 and 7. And then Frager, he's not a freshman, man. He grew up to like a sophomore, junior level last night.
Yeah, and, they only played 8 guys. But you look at the difference. So both teams only played 8 players. Nebraska got 22 points from the bench. Ohio State got 0. That's the difference, especially in a game like that when Rink and Price, admittedly did not have their best game. They looked like, especially Rink, just looked a little gassed. He played 36 minutes against Michigan State, and it showed. Like, the quick turnaround going on the road, and then that caught up with them a bit. But that's where kind of the difference between this team is compared to previous Nebraska teams, is they have at least 8 guys that they can turn to step up on any given night. And Sam, he's the most consistent player on that roster. There's a reason he is regarded among pretty much every coach that Nebraska has played as maybe the most valuable player on that roster. Like, Rink is going to get all the attention. Price is going to get attention for his shooting and scoring. But there's not a more valuable player in my mind on this team than Sam Hoiberg, just because of all the things that he does on both ends of the floor. He sets the pace. He controls the offense. He defends at the highest level in the conference. And now when you add in his rebounding, I mean, he's got like multiple games of like 9 and 10 rebounds. He's the shortest guy on the floor. Like, it's incredible what he's doing, and the tone that he sets every minute that he's out on the floor is infectious to the rest of that team. And so you've got those 3 guys right there. And then, oh, by the way, you got Berke playing the best basketball of his career, and he's one of the best post defenders on the team, and maybe one of the better ones in the conference. And then, you got Braden Frager coming off the bench, who's playing as one of the best freshmen in the conference. And then you got role guys like Cale Jacobson, who's not going to get the best stat line, but you look at his plus minus, he had the second highest plus minus over 18 minutes last night. Like, so, I mean, they got guys that don't show up in the box score, but they are invaluable to Nebraska's success. And we talk about these crunch time moments and making the biggest plays when it matters the most. Every one of those guys, and there's other guys I didn't even mention, are making game-changing plays, whether you see it on the final stats or not.
And as you list off some of these guys, Robin, and I know I'm getting way too ahead of myself, this does feel like a team that America is going to fall in love with come March. With Sam Hoiberg, the 5'10" guy that everyone kind of overlooks, that's going out there making the hustle plays. You got the guy in Price Sanford that on any given night can just go off from 3. You could say the same about Rink Mass, but he's kind of Jokic-esque in how he plays. He's going to have some passes. He's going to hit some deep threes. This team just has the pieces, not to mention Frager and his fire that he brings, as the pieces that it just feels like, man, the country, if they get a chance to see this team in the NCAA tournament, they're going to love this team.
It'll probably be a lot like that Northwestern team when they finally won their first tournament game. Like, they were one of the magical stories for a while. And I think that Nebraska can have that same effect. Now, here's the deal. If you keep winning, you're not the like fun, plucky underdog anymore. Like, if you go into the tournament as a 2 seed, you're 26-5, then all of a sudden, maybe you're not going to be like the, America's favorite, underdog story. But, at the same time, I think that everybody knows the history. It's the first thing every fan base says when they want to bash Nebraska is, well, you've never won a tournament game. Well, now they've never had a better chance to finally end that streak. And what is great is that, guys like us, we can talk about it, we can get caught up in it and, project and look ahead and all that stuff. But this team isn't. They have truly embraced the one game at a time mentality. And that, it's cliche, it's kind of boring to hear, but that's what it takes. Because, again, they're not even to the halfway point of their season yet, and then there's all postseason play ahead. So they still know that they have a lot of work to do. And you go back to last year, they looked like they were a lock to make the tournament, and the thing collapsed on them. So I think that's still fresh in these guys' memory that nothing is guaranteed. And as well as things have gone to this point, you got to finish the job. And so, again, it's fun to talk about, projecting seeds and, getting the tournament matchups and all that stuff. But from inside that locker room's perspective, they're just worried about Indiana right now, and then they're worried about the next one after that. And as long as they stick to that method, I think they're going to have an excellent chance to get to where everybody thinks they can go.
Again, we're speaking Nebraska Sports Media Association's award-winning sports writer from HuskerOnline.com. Boy, that's a mouthful, but I like saying it for you. What is the level of concern? You mentioned the minutes, the level of concern going forward, because obviously we haven't seen some guys. Garcia sparing minutes last night. We didn't see Ugi at all, because right now you got 7 guys over 20 minutes a game. You got 4 of those guys playing over 26. What is the level of concern going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we always knew was going to be an issue, especially with Rink, coming off the injury. They were really cautious with him in non-conference play to try to minimize his workload in some of those bye games. And that was probably the most frustrating part about games like North Dakota or even New Hampshire, where, that game should have been over by halftime, and they kind of putzed around and made it more difficult than it needed to be. And as a result, Rink had to play too much. And so, again, he played 36 the other night. He had over 30 again last night. So they've got to find ways to give him a little bit more help. But at the same time, they built this roster around him. He's their guy. So it's like saying, hey, Michael Jordan's playing too many minutes. The Bulls should probably sit him a little bit. No, they're not going to do that. He's the heartbeat of everything that they do. So, I think the key is not how you handle his in-game minutes. It's everything you do in between the games. And the good news is, they get a little bit of a break. This was a really kind of brutal turnaround where you had such an emotional game against Michigan State, and then have a 3-day prep to go on the road to play a good Ohio State team. That doesn't leave a lot of time for preparation and recovery. They get a few extra days this week, and I would imagine Rink's not going to do much of anything in practice. They're going to try to get those legs as fresh as they possibly can, and that goes for everybody. Sam and Price, all those guys played 35 minutes. You got to manage workloads a little bit, and Nebraska's, I think, got a really good plan for doing that. And like every team in the country is dealing with right now, it's just a battle of attrition and making sure that you have your guys as fresh as possible every single night, but also doing what you have to do to win the games.
It's Robin Washut with us here, HuskerOnline.com. And Robin, before we get a quick thought on the Kenny Minchie saga of last night, I do need to get your quick preview of Indiana. What can the Huskers expect this weekend?
Well, Indiana's probably as offensively skilled as any team Nebraska's played yet this season. They light it up from 3-point range. They get up and down. And, one of the big X factors here is Darren DeVries. If you go back when he was on the sideline on Creighton, he had the scout for Nebraska every single year. And there's a pure hatred in the DeVries family for Nebraska. It goes back to when his brother was a football player at Iowa. They grew up while Nebraska was in the football heyday, so they don't like Nebraska. And so one thing I will tell you is Darren DeVries is going to have that Indiana team absolutely locked in for this game because the personal connections there. This one means a lot to him. It meant a lot to him at Creighton. It's going to mean a lot to him at Indiana. So they got offensive firepower led by Darren's kid, Tucker DeVries, and they shoot it across the board. And so, for a Nebraska team that's been a bit erratic with its 3-point shooting, that might be the difference. Is you can't have these stretches where, you're missing 9 out of 10 shots and just trying to rely on your defense, because that's going to put you in a real tough spot on the road against a team as potent as Indiana.
Well, real quick, Rob, before we get you out of here as well, I appreciate your time. As you're going, you got through security, this whole quarterback portal. It's crazy. You get a quarterback backup out of Notre Dame. He commits, papers are there. They don't get signed. Apparently, a load of cash came in, and he's going to Kentucky. Any thoughts? Or it's crazy. It's a wild, wild west, and we're just a victim of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was covering a basketball game when that all popped, but one thing I will say is that's kind of an embodiment of just the state of college athletics right now, where you can get a commit. And I guess the issue is he never visited. So I worry about that strategy of relying on commitments from guys that have never even been to Lincoln, Nebraska before. Okay, that kind of leaves you vulnerable for stuff like that, where there's no personal connection. It's like a business transaction. And if you get a better offer, in the world of business, you're going to take it. So that's just a new world that Nebraska and everybody else is going to have to adjust to. Where this isn't a deal where like you're playing for your favorite school or committing to a school because of your like long-standing relationship with a coach. It's pros, and you're going in free agency. You're going to take the best deal. So Nebraska's got to kind of start from scratch right now. And the other ripple effect is all of your portal recruiting is based around your quarterback. And Nebraska doesn't have a quarterback right now. Like they can't point to TJ Lateef and say he's our guy. There's a reason they brought Minchie in, because they aren't sure that TJ is their guy. So now you kind of have to reset, and you wonder too, like, does this impact some of the current commits they've gotten out of the portal? Because a lot of those guys committed under the assumption that they had a quarterback in place. So Nebraska's got to act quick. Like they can't waste any time with this whole situation because of how important building your roster around the quarterback is. So I would imagine them to operate quickly and, kind of go to plan B, C, whatever it may be, because for anything else to move forward with their portal class, they got to get their quarterback. And this is a setback, no matter how you want to look at it.
Also, I would be remiss not to also congratulate you with the big award. First of all, we know that, but also congratulations on the Heath Schuler division winner in the third pick. What's your strategy?
Well, it's basically hang on by the skin of your teeth and then sell your entire future with draft picks to try to get a playoff roster. That's my strategy right there.
He's sitting in the third pick. Oh God, look who's picking behind you.
I know.
Satisfying.
He lost out on $100.
Oh,
by not winning the number one seed.
Oh, that's brutal.
I don't know who we're talking about here.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
All right, Robin. Appreciate you, brother, man. We'll get you out of here. Safe travels home, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, fellas. See you later.
Robin Watch at HuskerOnline.com. Great stuff from Robin there. Yeah, I'm like, who that is. Satisfying. Oh, boy, that's good stuff from Rob. We don't have much time. What do we got left?
You're right. 2 minutes in the car. Let's take a break, and we'll wrap the hour after this.
Yeah, because I have a question for you when we come back.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Question.
I have a question. It's just being in NFL. I got the question.
It's also rare for us to get the opportunity to do a true 4-segment hour.
Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. Way with this team, I think that business, it shows you the importance as a team is good. Him and I were discussing some things. He is actually, with where they're at and their success so far, not typical for him to do, but he is traveling to every road game in January. He's on the road to every road game in January.
I will say he mentioned the fact off the air to me whenever we're chatting on the phone how quick the Columbus airport was. I had the same experience when we were out there for Columbus last year. It's nice little TSA line. They did have the drug dog that does the little laps you have to walk past, and then quickly through the metal detector, the scanner.
Nice.
And then on the other end of you're like already in the terminal. The Applebee's is right there.
That's where he was.
We went from Schmidt and I went from the security line to the airport bar within about 30 seconds.
Really?
It was great. Sat down. We had one with Suitsy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the Applebee's was like maybe 50 feet from our gate.
And you were just there.
We were just there.
Perfect margaritas and all.
Yeah.
I love that. I always like good airport
stores. I like Columbus. Have you ever been?
No.
It gives me the feel of like an Omaha.
Okay.
Slightly bigger, but kind of that Omaha feel. Same with the airport. We're coming back here though.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. A couple minutes left. Special thanks there to Robin Watch and HuskerOnline.com. My question was, I know we're almost at my question. So as you're in NFL, I watch all the NFL. Like, are you a fan? Because I've already know you know. If your team wasn't in the playoffs, and you're out of fan, whatever, you can out and go home. I have a feeling there's fans. I just always wonder,
if you're a fan of the team, like are you Notre Dame, litmus test of are you a fan or are you rooting against anybody?
Even lost. I mean, I still want to see things. Hey, who are the Broncos building this team around next year? How do they do in their draft last season? What does this team need to target in the draft next year? What guys do I think this team should let walk? What bright spots can there be? There's still a lot to watch, even if your team is struggling.
Yeah, because you don't like go around poo-pooing on other teams, do you, at this time?
No.
Okay.
No, but that being said, it's kind of takes the pressure off watching your team. Do I watch as much Broncos football whenever they're losing? No, I'll go do something for a quarter and come back and see
but it's
doing.
on.
It's on.
And if you know they're going to miss the playoffs, you'll watch like this weekend. If the Broncos were not in the playoffs this weekend, would you watch football?
Oh, of course. I don't miss a playoff game. I watch all of them whenever I'm.
That's what I appreciate about fans.
And let it be known, it takes the pressure off of watching football late in the season when your team's not in the playoffs, because if it's a win, awesome, you get to watch a win. If it's a loss, awesome, they get a better draft spot.
I just seen a lot of that, like it would be media or not media, social media, like, well, that team's the number one seed, but they're scheduled. I'm like, why are you poo-pooing on people? Take a break.
It's okay.
It's okay. And it's been different fans, right? I ain't gonna watch the playoffs. I don't want them to win. Wow, you're sad.
Playoffs are the best time of
turn the frown upside down in 2026. We're gonna do Husker football when we come back. We're gonna do playoff predictions and a whole lot more. Sit back, relax. We'll be right back.
Make hauling easy with the MWC Park Can Easy Dump. This satellite dumper goes where big garbage trucks can't and can haul everything from trash to yard waste to recycling. The fully automatic Easy Dump fits in the back of a standard pickup truck, so there's no need for a CDL license. Perfect for alleys, gated communities, condos, parks, anywhere. Come see the Easy Dump yourself at MWC Can in Lincoln, or go to MWC-can.com today.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump is speaking today at the Kennedy Center. He renamed in honor of himself. He has told Republicans gathered there that House Speaker Mike Johnson is doing the best he can.
A lot of times they'll say, I wish Mike were tougher. He's tough. He's tough as anybody in the room, actually. But can't be tough when you have a majority of 3. And now, sadly, a little bit less than that. I mean, a little bit less than that.
His
maybe.
comments following the death of California Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa and a car accident involving Indiana Congressman Jim Baird. Both of those things further narrowing the Republican majority in the House. Following a 2-hour briefing on the Venezuela operation, lawmakers remain divided on whether the president had the power to capture President Nicolas Maduro inside his own borders. ABC's Mary Bruce is at the White House.
Republicans are adamant that the operation to capture Maduro does not constitute an act of war. Speaker Johnson telling reporters that this is not regime change and that he does not expect U.S. troops on the ground, arguing the U.S. will run the country by pressuring the government and blocking its oil exports. Meanwhile, Democrats are demanding answers. Leader Chuck Schumer saying the administration's plan to run the country is vague and based on wishful thinking.
Opening statements underway in the first criminal trial related to the Uvalde, Texas school shooting. Here's ABC's Peter Haralambous.
Prosecutors allege that former Uvalde Schools police officer Adrian Gonzalez neglected his duty in 2022 when he failed to confront the shooter at Robb Elementary, despite being one of the first officers to arrive on the scene of the shooting that took the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers. He's one of 2 officers to face criminal charges for his role in the botched police response, though nearly 400 members of law enforcement were on the scene that day.
After a nasty federal trial on revenue sharing that included inflammatory texts, NASCAR Commissioner Steve Phelps has announced he is resigning after more than 20 years on the job. You're listening to ABC News.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
An overnight fire claims 1 life. Good morning. I'm Jeff Moats. We're at 44 degrees at KFOR. An investigation is underway into a deadly apartment fire from early this morning near 13th and H. Lincoln Fire and Rescue Public Information Officer MJ Lehrman tells KFOR News LFR was notified about reports of smoke in the building. She says they did find the unit where the fire was at, and at that point, the blaze was out. 1 person was found dead, and a cat was also found deceased.
Crews were able to extinguish the remnants of the fire and remove the victim along with a cat.
Lehrman says an autopsy will be done on the fire victim. An attempted first-degree murder is one of the 3 charges that an 86-year-old man is facing in Saunders County following a shooting on Christmas Eve. David Jurging was also arrested for use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony and tampering with physical evidence. Deputies were called to the Fremont Hospital on December 24th about a man who arrived there with gunshot wounds. The victim's wife told investigators she had heard 3 gunshots in the home that happened east of Cedar Bluffs before taking her husband to the hospital. According to court records, deputies later found Jurging at the residence where he told them that he shot at his son-in-law 3 to 4 times trying to kill him. Jurging's bond has been set at 10% at $500,000. He's due back in court this Thursday. And the first candidate to file for a statewide office in the 2026 election cycle is Nebraska's incumbent Secretary of State Bob Evnen. He's seeking a 3rd term in office. Evnen said that his campaign is focused on delivering results and continuing the important work already underway in the Secretary of State's office. Tonight here on KFOR, boys basketball, number 3 Lincoln Southeast plays at Lincoln Northeast. You can join myself and Thune Malone for the play-by-play. Coverage begins at 7:05, brought to you by the KFOR Sportscasters Club. Sunshine today, a high around 58. Clear sky tonight, a low of 32. Sunny and 61 tomorrow. I'm Jeff Moats, KFOR News.
A new year is the perfect time to make smarter financial moves. Liberty First Credit Union makes it easy with auto loans as low as 4.49% APR. You'll enjoy quick approvals, personal service, local decision-making, and no payments for 90 days. Start the year saving more and driving smarter. Apply today at libertyfirstcu.com or call 402-465-1000. APR based on creditworthiness and vehicle details. Offer valid on 2021 or newer models and is subject.
Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't really like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
This is the Morning Hookup.
on KFOR.
Welcome back to the morning hookup, hour number 2. My food prep is confused right now. All over the board with this weather. I'm all over the board. I'm all over the board. Chilly for a while. It is. It's beautiful. It's going to be the next couple of days. Yeah, clouds are out there, but the wind's been down. I think you're in the. We should be going in the chili casserole type. And this is my roommate. I Kobe would appreciate it. Kobe, Kobe, by the way, I see your new profile picture on. But the thing that Kobe would appreciate is this weekend, my roommate and I collaborated on a chicken noodle soup, the best I've ever made.
You let somebody in the kitchen with you?
He got to focus on the stock and vegetable chop, and then once it came to I was working
teaching.
I was working on high school basketball on Saturday. He's been working on his chicken stock recipe, so I gave some tips before I left.
What was the grade?
He made the stock. He did really, really well.
All right, well done, Kobe.
And then whenever I came back home, it was like time to assemble all the soup, and gave him some tips and tricks. But it was like 75-80% of the work was him, about 20% was me. Probably even less than that, actually. Probably was like 90% of the work. And then but I was there in spirit. I was there to influence him, help him out a little bit. Best chicken noodle soup I've ever had. And now we get to this week, it's like 60 degrees. I'm like, I don't even want chicken noodle soup.
I don't even want it.
I got tons of leftovers in the fridge. I don't want chicken noodle soup.
I don't even know what to do. It's confusing. My grill is looking at me going, hey, fire me up. You can do it. So it's really confusing. What's also confusing is the portal. Man. I'm trying to think we should not be surprised. Okay. You get word. You can give me the whole timing of when this happened. You get word. We talked about it yesterday, getting a quarterback commit back up at Notre Dame who is close to winning the job in Minchie. For all we know, papers were there, documents ready to go, commitment made. And then around, was it 7:45, 7:30, 7:45 last night? There's all the reports coming out that there's a flip in there. He's going to head to Kentucky. To me, the read on this is desperate teams start to spend the money at desperate times. And that's what this is. I think everybody said this before. The desperate team sets the market. Kentucky sounds like they really need a quarterback. They had some income that they could throw out there. And before the pen even got close to the paper, word is Minchie is now headed to Kentucky.
And this was a saga. So first and foremost, Nebraska, in a legal way, has been working on this one for weeks now, where they're not communicating directly with Minchie, but you can talk to agents and you can have hypothetical numbers on the board. And once the portal opens, you can say, all right, that hypothetical number we've been talking about, it's a real offer now.
Yes.
Because if your player were to go into the portal, what would his number be? Well, if your player was in the portal, we have a value on him of ... You can have the conversation hypothetical ways with agents without it officially being tampering. And my understanding is Nebraska has had these conversations and has essentially thought they had a deal worked out since before the bowl game. And then now Kentucky comes in because they have struck out seemingly on Sam Leavitt.
Yep.
So now it's something we talked about yesterday on the show, where it was Nebraska, the fact that you did not have to go to your backup option, which now you do. But yesterday the conversation
you didn't have to.
You didn't have to. You had your quarterback, which means you can focus all your time and your resources on, hey, you're not going to go, unless you're apparently Texas Tech or Indiana this year, you're not going to go 100% on your portal targets. So
you're trying to get a couple in that room.
And I compared it to the back end of the NFL draft, where, hey, you can't get all your top targets because they're going off to other teams. So you have to go work down onto your big board, quote unquote, and find the guys in rounds 5, 6, and 7 that you think can play, that the other teams for some reason are either passing on or they don't see what you see. Mm-hmm. It's in the NFL, it's rounds 4, 5, 6, 7 that turn you into a contender or not. It's not rounds Rounds 1 through 3, you need to be right on. But the higher your hit rate is in the later rounds of the NFL draft, the better your team's going to be, because you're finding competent players that other teams maybe aren't. I compare it to the transfer portal as well.
Or you're in position to make that pick.
You're going to miss out on some of your top guys in the transfer portal. Who are your backup options? The fact that Nebraska had seemingly their quarterback locked up gave them more time and effort to go scout further down the board, find some of those diamonds in the rough, the guys that you think can contribute. Now, you're going to a backup option in the quarterback position where it's slim pickings. It's like missing or your first round quarterback pick get stolen from under your nose, and now you're going to go try to find a quarterback in the 4th or 5th round of the NFL draft. Good luck. The top guys are off the board.
I'm sorry we didn't talk to you before, but we didn't. Yeah, now we got to go back to you.
Yeah,
conversations are being had, and
it's you spent your scouting time on this first round quarterback that you thought was going to be great for you. You thought he was going to fall into your lap at whatever pick you had, and then somebody else jumps in, trades up, steals him from under your nose, and now you're left scrambling. That's where Nebraska's at right now.
You're in scramble mode.
They've been left scrambling, and they now have less time to focus on those deeper guys in the boards that
you
would like to spend more scouting time
9 days counting today. Looking at you're in scramble mode, and I think nationally, optically, it looks really bad. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Nebraska had him, can't secure him. I think there's a very big focus on Pat Stewart right now in this, and not just from this situation, but the entire cycle with that. I think also now there's comments being thrown back out there that we have the money to go get anybody we want kind of comment, right? That was said. Nebraska presumably has missed out on what their top 6. There's no good check marks. You did get a good lineman yesterday. You've got a couple. Chambliss gets in yesterday.
Chambliss is a great pickup. Black from Iowa State, great pickup. But you need a lot of guys.
Yes, you need a lot of guys, and it's not the sexy pickup.
Well, and now, and now what are you doing on a Tuesday as opposed to trying to find some diamonds in the rough in the defensive line room? Because, hey, some of those top defensive line guys went elsewhere. It's going to happen.
You're back to the board talking to a quarterback that you've probably done a little homework on in Aiden Childs.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to try to get your way into the Lagway sweepstakes? Can you afford to be in the
Lagway sweepstakes? Do you have to get in the Lagway sweepstakes now? Are you forced to do that? Or are you going to the Childs, or are you going to the kid out of UNLV?
Are you the Saints forced to take Spencer Rattler in the 2nd or 3rd round because there's no one else left and you need a quarterback?
Yeah. It feels like your back's against the wall.
This changes Nebraska's portal strategy in the coming days immensely, as opposed to now going and trying to find guys. And there's still going to be some work. You can't focus your effort into going and finding some diamond in the rough defensive line guys that, hey, other teams for whatever reason are passing this guy, but we think he can fit great in our system, as opposed to being able to do all the legwork there. Now you're forced to recalibrate and say, oh crap, quarterback is now again the top priority for this football team.
Like you said, for over a week, probably now you've already taken your plate at the dinner table and you shoved it to the middle and you scraped it off and you were done. You put that book away over a week ago, if everything we know and told made sense. Now you're back to, you're back to heating the leftovers up.
Let it be known, this is a disaster. How big of a disaster is it? I think the next 48 hours will tell us.
Yes, because if there aren't a resolution, and we call it a resolution, or a prediction of Nebraska getting a quarterback, it's a big disaster.
With 9 days on the clock?
I also think it's a major disaster for college football, for college athletics too.
We'll get there in a second. But if you're getting to the end of the week and you still don't have your quarterback locked up and locked down, it's panic time. It really. I'm not prepared to say on a Tuesday that the sky is falling with Nebraska's portal window, because Chambliss is a good pickup. Black's a good pickup.
Look, it's a low ceiling right now.
You have 9 days to go find some other guys, but if you get to the end of the week and you're still scrambling on a quarterback, that's like, I'm like, uh-oh.
It is. I think every hour that passes right now, you get nervous, real nervous, because you're talking about a window of 9 days where if you've got to fire the jet up or jet somebody in, right? Coach Rule woke up this morning or last night, probably didn't sleep, thinking about where do I need to go to talk to somebody? Who do I got to pull off the trail to go do this?
My expectation is that Nebraska is working feverishly behind the scenes now to get guys on campus, to
Yes.
make the conversations.
Yes.
You probably spent till late into the evening last night doing the legwork on some other options at quarterback. I'm sure you already had an idea. And today is spent, all right, let's get some guys on campus. Let's figure out what we're going to turn to, because you can't let this one sit for too long.
You just, in your gut, I know they're working hard, but again, it really feels, and unfortunately for Nebraska, the way this happened, you're going to end up settling.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to settle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, I want this to be also transparent on my side, that it has nothing to do with TJ Lateef. It is competition coming in to make everybody better in that room.
It's the fact you essentially have one quarterback in your room.
One. Let's not forget that. This isn't about, there's a chance TJ Lateef develops really well, becomes our starter next, all that stuff.
Well,
but again,
you didn't want the job to fall into Lateef's lap.
Yes.
If he won the job in a straight up competition next year, it's encouraging for Nebraska. If he wins the job because Nebraska had to go just find a body for the room, you got stuck with what you got stuck with, that's disaster.
It gives me the weird. Let's just hope for the best. And I know they're working furiously to get this thing and get it there to the point. But a massive news that broke last night that you're losing commitment from a quarterback that's going on in the SEC now. But yeah, kind of going back to when I mentioned earlier, like, this is bad for college football. But this is what the NCAA has allowed.
Oh yeah,
this is zeroed directly at that organization that is spineless of action. And we have commitments happening and agents involved, and you think you lock somebody down. It's a disaster.
There's no guardrails.
You're right. There's no boundaries. There's no guardrails. The sandbox is there's no borders. Nothing.
This is you're drag racing in front of fans with no guardrails. If someone crashes, it's going right into the spectators. And the spectators are the one paying for it all. Like it's maybe not the best comparison, but that's what it feels like.
Do you feel like that? Like it feels nasty, because I'm trying to, in my head, get out of the picture of, oh, Minchie committed to Nebraska. Why don't you call that agent and figure out what they gave him? Right? This dirty part of this. What'd you get? Because I tell you what, and he snapshots a bag of cash. It just feels dirty.
Hey, what are you getting offered? We have a starting spot over here, and whatever they're paying, we'll pay more.
Yeah.
No, on one hand, I'm happy that these players that are generating tons and tons of wealth for their universities are getting paid. Maybe not even a fair market. I'm glad they're getting paid for their services while they are putting their bodies on the line for the benefit of a university, for the benefit of these corporations, for lack of a better term, that are making millions off of them. They should be making some share of that money. But it's how they're making the money right now that's dirty.
Yes.
That feels wrong.
And I want to be kind of cautious of this because I don't know the real answers. It feels locally like a Nebraska problem. This isn't a Nebraska problem, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Because when this window opened, when whatever money they had or were allotted with their GM, they went through the process of evaluating needs at every level, every position, and assuming they assigned monetary values to what they're willing to pay. This is a pre-planned event that just got them blindsided. So people are like, well, why do we pay them more? Well, that's not the way the Nebraska plan was mapped out to get to where they want to get to, right? With your dollars. Let's say it's like you got $1,000, right? It's like budgeting your normal everyday budget monthly for your house and your electricity and yada, yada. It's what they do. And Kentucky just happened to be desperate.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other crazy part about this. These agents, and you've said this, though, that agent of whatever agents got together, we don't know if the number they told Kentucky was even true. What'd they give you? 1.5. We don't. Could have been $1 million. Well, we'll give you 2. Boom. Kid just made an extra $1 million. That's the dirty part about this. You don't have to be truthful about any of these conversations.
So it's the way of college football right now. That's what can you do about it?
It is dirty. But Nebraska has to recruit, recover. And again, like I said, I think in the next 48 hours, it's going to be big for Nebraska. Not just signing people. I'm talking about you got to get people here. You got to go to people. Real big week.
Yep.
For Nebraska.
Real big next 48 hours.
Yeah, real big one.
How do you respond?
Oh, boy. All right, let's take a break. Whew. You know what we're going to do when we come back? We're going to bracket up this NFL, baby. We're going to look at the playoffs, look at those games. I told my wife last night, we were sitting there, and she's like, what are we doing? I said, starting Thursday, I'm probably watching football and basketball all the way through Sunday.
Yeah.
And she gave me the look like, oh, no, I better get the most production out of you right now that I'm going to get the rest of the week. So let's talk about the sports week and NFL playoffs when we return. I'm in the toilet bowl draft. We have a toilet bowl too. For those teams that didn't make it, the bottom 6.
Do you have a punishment? Oh, we talked about this.
No punishment.
We talked about this.
No punishment. I think where I'm at. When do I pick? It's a snake draft. I got to figure out where I'm at. Shared Google document. So I got to go back and look and make sure I don't make the bonehead pick. What do I need in this draft? We need to run it back. Cook could be really good in the playoffs, couldn't he? Running back?
James Cook?
Yeah. He might be the best one on the board. I'll get a couple games out of him, too. And I do not want to run it back on a toilet bowl. Really tough. I had to pick a quarterback. I didn't have a quarterback either. I was real close. I didn't do it. I took Darnold over Nix.
Darnold's.
I was close. I just thought offensive numbers might be a little bit better right now.
Darnold he's guaranteed to screw it all up.
I know. I got to go running back. RJ Harvey's on the board.
I wouldn't do it.
Nope. Travion Henderson.
I like that.
Or James Cook. Kenneth Walker's out there. Kieran Williams.
I think I'd go Travion.
You think?
I think I'd go Travion.
Because I might need Cook. I think they're going to. I need to think about people that might make multiple rounds.
I think Travion's the pick.
You think Travion's the pick? Do I have to stat look at this thing? Because Cook hasn't been great as of late.
He has not been. It's been Josh Allen being forced to put on a superhero cape and throw for 400 yards. That's what it's been.
Now I gotta look. Look at me. I'm stat checking for a bottom 6, but I could still win some stuff. That's the fun part. Okay, let's see what you got here. Ooh, you've been pretty good. Been really consistent lately. I like that. I always look at the game logs. Let's see what we got here.
We are coming back here. So
let's go.
Keep doing your research.
Welcome back in the morning. Hookup. Tuesday.
NFL playoffs are here. Thursday night. Thursday? No, that's the football playoff. NFL playoffs are here. Fun extensive road playoff games. That's really good, man. Number 6 position. Good. Chaminade. What? She said Chaminade. Let's see. Yeah, he's on. He's already nice roster already.
Yeah, Charbonnet would be
nice roster already.
Anyway, we do need to make our playoff predictions. We got it is a
this is fun.
slate of wild card weekend. There is, almost every single match on the board. Aside from maybe the,
I think, that was
that's the only line that's more than 5 points.
Yeah, that's interesting because obviously you're going to go back and be like, well, they did beat earlier this season. Not that long ago, was it?
What, 5 weeks?
Yeah. Devontae Adams will return. So let's just think. We're going to go.
Well, I'm getting a little document ready here for us to
You
make
get the
predictions.
Here we go. Well, Saturday, 3:30. Rams. Rams. Panthers. You get the back. That thing is 10. Rams.
You and I are no,
and he's the MVP. Stafford MVP. Rams.
I got the Rams, and I think that's the game that leads into the weekend that I'm not all that excited about.
Because it's odd.
But the Rams by far are the best team I think they've the last season.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, Stafford. To me, this feels like the last run for him. I think this is the one right up in the sunset. Those 3-4 wins. This is something less than they make a deep run here to a Super Bowl. For him,
I agree.
I think they have a little magic going. Panthers, they're a much better team than they have been. I still think they are kind of making the playoffs is the win for them. They're like the Broncos last year. Making the playoffs is the win for them. Until they can recalibrate and improve their offense next year.
Yeah, for me, it's more of like I don't think defensively they're going to hold up against them. Back offensively, they've been okay. Bryce Young's grown up. He's grown with watching play, better decision. Bryce, there's too much Rams. The second Saturday game is going to be really interesting. Is the Packers headed to Chicago. With the Packers are 2.5 favorite,
which is surprising to me because they're so injured. And the Bears, their defense on a per play basis, bad. But they get so many takeaways that it elevates their defense and makes them look better than they actually are.
Crazy because I'm looking at their stats right now on defense, and they do make it's like they're the typical big don't type defense because they're 27th against the run, they're 22nd against the pass, they're 29th overall. They look up, but they do host the 6th best offense.
Offense that is in no Craft.
I'm talking about the Bears.
Oh, they don't, and the Packers don't have Mike Wilson. Big loss. The thing about this game, I think on paper, Packers are a better team when the Packers are fully healthy. The Packers are not fully healthy. I'm surprised to see the Packers.
That goes back to no belief in the Bears. The Bears are tough at home. Here you go. I'm going to go Packers. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
Just from my roommates, I get from their Packers fans. They have little confidence in their own Packers, so that means yeah, you look Bears. I think it is a very close game. I don't think the Bears run.
Sunday, they kick off at noon. I could play football on the board here. Bills headed to Jackson. The Bills are in Jacksonville playing pretty good football right now. Good belief down there. They're playing at a really elite level. It's a tough one to forget. I look at this way. I think a lot for me is getting the labels off some of these teams. Like you look at the Bears,
Jags are probably the hottest team in the NFL. It's the hottest team in the NFL. The Bills, it's been making a lot of they have all that but the other thing to note there is they are a veteran team that's made some wins before. And the question has to be asked, if a team goes with a good chance of making the postseason, what is their level late in the season? Or they're headed up postseason? For the NFL regular season is a slog. And by the time you get to December, if you're not fully locked in, you're going to lose 2 faces you think of the outcome, and it's not going to look all that pretty, but then you lock back into the postseason.
Well, I just have Jacksonville keep their good on both sides of the football. I think they're the top on both sides. The both sides of both. I think they got more. They're healthy on defense. Not on the side. That's not really good. I'm gonna take Buffalo. I think there's a lot of Josh. I think they're going to find a way to get cooked on in this thing. They're going to be stout up like this. I think there's a time when you look at this and I'm not dogging any other team at that. But when you look at who's missing from that, there has to be urgency with Buffalo Bills. It's got to. I think that window is pretty good.
And playoff experience matters. I'm also going with the Bills. I think the experience they have in the season with them here. The Jags, they probably still be the postseason.
The 30th day we had football across country. They did champion. I go back to what we said yesterday. They've done a phenomenal job. Their injury. You talking about the Packers being injured? Look at that side. And the Eagles have just been kind of resting. I think the Eagles are going to win this. I think it's just because the travel, I think they're just too beat up. Kittle isn't even fully healthy. He got hurt again this past weekend. If you watch him limp around with his ankle and his foot, I just don't think – I think it got to them where they've hit a wall of injuries and having to travel that far to go to a hostile environment and play in Philly. And Philly's been well rested the last few weeks. I think this is the Eagles touchdown victory.
I struggle with this one a lot.
I do too, but I mean, because you kind of got in your mind, but if you look at what I'm not convinced you, but what San Fran has done the last few weeks, you could just see like, man, we did it.
Their defense has let them down, but I'm a believer that McCaffrey, Kittle, Purdy, I'm a believer that offense can carry him at least through this round because the Eagles have been less than impressive this year. They have the championship pedigree, but I don't think this is the year for them, so I'm going Niners.
Okay. With that one.
I don't think the 49ers have the defense to lead them deep into the postseason. I think they can win at least a game.
Okay. Cool. The nightcap. Boy, this thing just keeps getting better and better and better. How about the Chargers? Again, speaking of going across country, there's a lot of cross-country stuff going on. The Chargers are going to head all the way out to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots that are 3.5-point favorites. You've got to make a pick about who you want and like who you might want to see in this one.
A little bit. The question to me, it's Drake May. That's the question to me. First postseason for Drake May. Playoff football is different than regular season football.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chargers have also had their own struggles in the postseason as well. I think they have the advantage defensively. That defense for the Chargers is underappreciated, but it's very, very good.
5th ranked defense in the entire NFL.
They're going to have some things up their sleeve for Drake May, but the Patriots have a solid rushing attack. I think they have the best 1-2 punch at running back in the postseason. When you look at Stevenson and Travion Henderson, I think that is a little bit underappreciated. I mean, they run the hell out of the ball all season long, but Henderson's kind of come into his own. And I am expecting another Chargers offensive collapse of some sort. Herbert to throw an interception somewhere in there. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one.
I'm going to go Patriots too because I like the Drake May story. I like what they do. This is going to be, I think, at times, look at their head coaches. The tougher team is going to win this game. The more connected team is going to win this game. It could be ugly at times because both of these guys like to muck it up, like to be tough. But I think the offense on the other side, the way they run the football and they're up front, they're going to run it because you got, I think it's the 8th ranked defense in the Chargers against the run, and you got the 6th best rushing attack on the other side. That's where it's won. And then I can also see just because that team, the stuff that Vrabel has done so far, there's going to be a special teams moment in this game too. But I think Drake May, there's too much there. And I agree with you. Like at times the Chargers look disconnected on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know who they want to be. And you're young at running back. I'll go Patriots.
I can't explain it, Hooksy. Something I wrote out Patriots on our predictions here. Some gut feeling said that feels wrong. So I just flipped it to the Chargers. Everything in my head is telling me Patriots, but the gut feeling I just got when I wrote down Patriots next to my name felt so wrong that
What got in your head that made you feel that way? Was it like, sick of seeing the Patriots? I don't want to see them.
Something with Drake May in the first postseason. He's been great. He's been an MVP candidate for a reason. Some switch just flipped in my head where I went, that feels wrong.
Yeah. I like them. I like them being in Foxborough too.
My head tells me Patriots here, but something in my heart just told me that that's not right.
All right.
So I just flipped it.
We'll go with it.
Last game of the weekend.
Monday Night Football. This will be one interest. I know you'll be closely watching because you're going to get to play these guys, your Broncos. Houston, as Mark at the end of it say, Houston headed to Pittsburgh. Houston's a 3.5-point favorite here.
Tighter than I thought it'd be. I'm just going to quickly chime in here and say I've been predicting this all year long. Steelers, we're going to sneak in by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, because you can't go back
into the playoffs, and then they're going to get blown out in the wild card. I don't think that offense for the Steelers is going to be able to do much against that Texans defense. I think the Texans will do enough. This is like a 24-6 type game for me. Give me the Texans.
Boy, I'm having this is the one I'm struggling with because Houston's been good on both sides. They've been playing great as of late. And I don't know if I'm in the, you got to go to Pittsburgh mentality, which is tough. They got to go outdoors. I don't know what the weather's like. Could change the whole scheme of that game. As much as people might despise it, you got a veteran at quarterback, playoff experience.
Who knows?
Out the wazoo and Aaron Rodgers.
Who knows this might be the last go-around.
You're getting Metcalf back. What's up to Sleeve, man? He's good. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the home team. I like that whole playoff experience thing is gonna play big in this. And is it Aaron's last ride? Is it? Could be. What level? That crowd is gonna be fired up. I'll go Pittsburgh.
Okay, so then let me set the divisional matchups.
Set it up.
So then you got Bills.
Any comments coming in?
So who's 4 and 5? Who's 4 and 5 in the NFC?
Here's what you got. Let me go. Got the bracket up here. That's the Rams, Carolina. So they're going to get Seattle.
Rams versus Seattle.
Yep.
And then the other one for you would be Eagles
and Green Bay. And you would have what you said, do you go San Fran?
Oh, yeah.
San Fran and the Bears for you.
And then Bills versus Chargers. And then on the other side, I got Rams versus Seattle.
Yep.
And
San Fran, Green Bay, right?
49ers.
No, I got Chicago.
Okay, so we'll move as quickly as possible.
Here we go. Let's go.
The division round. Steelers versus Broncos. That's for you, Hooksy. What do you like?
Steelers, Broncos. Let's ride.
So Broncos pick for Hooksy. Thank you, Hooksy. Bills v. Patriots.
Bills, Patriots, Bills.
Rams versus Seahawks.
Oh, that's such a good matchup. I'm going to tip the cap to Seattle since they're at home.
Okay.
That's the X factor.
And then finally for you, Eagles versus Packers.
Eagles
fly. I got Texans v. Broncos. I feel wrong for me to not take the Broncos, even though that would be that one scares me. Bills v. Chargers. I will take the Bills. 49ers Rams versus Seattle. I'll take the Rams. And then Niners v. Chicago. I will take the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
championship.
You got
the Bears playing this. NFC ship.
So Hook C, you have Broncos v. Bills in the championship round, as well as
Buffalo, Seattle.
Eagles, Seattle.
Eagles. No, sorry, Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you might Super Bowl. I thought.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying now. So
I picked them both at the same time.
So you're taking Bills,
Hawks,
Bills, Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Me?
Yeah.
No, Seattle. Did I say Seattle? Who did I say? I'm confused.
Seattle. So you're taking Seattle?
Yes, Seattle.
So you're taking it's a Seahawks Bills Super Bowl for you?
Yes.
And then I have Broncos v. Bills, and I have Rams versus Bears. I will take the Rams out of the NFC, and I will take the
Broncos. Yeah. Yeah. What? You're taking the Broncos, aren't you? Or are you not?
That's a tough one, man. Give me the Broncos.
Right.
I don't think it actually happens, but give me the Broncos. And then you have Bills v. Seattle. Who you have win the Super Bowl?
Boy, it's so tough. That's a tough. I'm gonna go Hawks. Hawks win it. Sam Darnold goes crown.
So Super Bowl, Bills versus Seattle, and you have the Seahawks. And I have Broncos v. Rams, and I'm taking the Rams.
Wow, interesting how we got to there, that we're picking a Super Bowl champion out of the same division. After all that.
Oh, the NFC West has been great.
They've been great. They've been phenomenal. That was good. All right, so there you go. We got our predictions. Is this one that's gonna be?
Yeah, it'll be delivered to us.
Delivered to us on February the 9th.
Yeah. So if you stuck with us through all of that,
that was fun.
Hooksy through the Super Bowl has the Bills taking on the Seattle Seahawks in San Francisco. And he's got the Seattle Seahawks winning it. I have the Broncos taking on the Rams, and I have the Rams winning it.
How about that? There you go. We'll keep those in the pocket. Those are your predictions if you have them as well. So it all starts Saturday.
I gotta schedule this. Where is the schedule?
Come on, you did this. You're a true professional.
Schedule send.
Oh man, did we lose a scheduler or two at the same time?
I'll have this sent to us. When is AFC Championship weekend?
Oh boy.
I'll have it sent to us the Monday after championship.
Monday
weekend.
after championship weekend.
January 25th. So we're talking January 26th.
26.
January 26th.
At 7 a.m.
7 a.m.? I was going to go 8.
You go 8. That was my joke. I got it. You didn't get it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, let's take a break. Our final break. And we'll come back with stories that we missed. Da, 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 da. Come on.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good.
I'm ready for next song, yeah. And we're going
here.
We have 8 minutes on the clock.
That's so crazy. That's happening right now. Well, that's still. I forgot about that. I don't want that. Let's see what's in here. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm going to ask you about that. That's massive. That's fun.
How are you planning? Are you planning on enjoying your NFL wildcard weekend any specific way?
No, home.
Any food?
Probably. God, I just feel like it's. I feel like wings and ribs. Just a platter. Like it's one of those like. So here I'm out with a family of 5, blah, blah, whatever. Like it's one of those grazing type days. Make a bunch of wings. Make some ribs. Couple sides, and it's all family style.
Yeah.
You just got to go get it when you want it.
Yep.
Right.
I feel like I should have something to just like stay in the crock pot all day.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm hungry, I can just go up to
like I want to make it like a weekend, like a full on, like maybe like when you're hosting a party type thing. There's some like pregame snacks on the board. You go out there, like a little snack mix.
Dare I say buffalo dip?
Oh, baby. Yeah, dips, chips. And then you bust out the real stuff. And then it's just there all day.
I think I'm going to call a high school basketball game on Saturday, a doubleheader, which would fill a little bit of my my wild card weekend Saturday, but that's okay because I think I'm really locked in on Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday night is the game to watch. And then Sunday is going to be great.
Here's the hard part. It's like, when do you start this? Because you got Thursday night CFP, Friday night CFP. Husker basketball.
Let's talk about it. We'll come back here.
Welcome back to the Weather Hookup. Final segment of the day. I feel like we're talking our quarterback portal transfer stuff. Johnny!
Unintentionally, but now that you mentioned
that's in my mind. I heard it through the grapevine. No, you didn't. Everybody reported it.
Our listeners on stream out can hear this song, so I do apologize.
She'll sing it for me.
Heard it through the grapevine. I love the way the CCR always says "heard it" very. They say it uniquely. Heard it through the grapevine.
They just get after it.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting after it, I don't know. We'll get to this. I'll get to that later. But like, when does this? Like, how are we gonna get through the sports weekend? And what are you eating? Because, as I told you yesterday, we had Husker hoops yesterday, 5:30. Tonight's kind of an off night, college basketball night. Then you got Wednesday, but then Thursday, Friday night, you got CFP. Like, when does the party start? Is the question. Thursday night, Friday night, CFP. Saturday, Sunday, NFL playoffs, which are great games going on. Husker hoops is at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. What's the plan? I said during the stream, my plan is I'll probably do some wings and ribs but it's all family style. There's no here it is. Maybe throw out some snacks, dips, chips, trail mix to kind of graze on in the whatever, do 11-ish. And then it's just there all day long. Come and get it when you want.
To me, I feel like Thursday night is like, all right, you're going to sit at home. It's a Thursday. You still got work on Friday. You're going to find something to make that's easy but delicious, you know?
Yep.
Well, that comforting, maybe some hamburger helper. So, something comforting on that Thursday. It's nothing too special because you got a long weekend ahead of you. Friday with the college football playoff, is that a sports bar kind of night?
Maybe. Yeah, because
I look at Saturday night as the sports bar kind of night. After a long, you've had Husker hoops on, you've had the first college or the first NFL wildcard game on. You don't want to be sitting all day there Saturday making food.
True. I mean,
and so I feel like Saturday night is the sports bar day, and then Sunday is you wake up, you're getting something going in the crock pot, you're getting some food options going. First half of that first game on Sunday, maybe you're finishing up the food options, and then you just sit on your couch and graze all day Sunday.
Cheese dip.
Ooh. little pimento cheese dip.
Does it matter that it's going to be in the like 42 for a high, 40 for a high, 46 on Sunday?
I mean, you can get outside and throw something on the smoker.
Oh boy, let us know what you're going to do as well. I know you don't do this, but maybe you do. I know we got playoffs coming up, right? NFL playoffs. Have you had a chance to do the look ahead of the Broncos schedule, home and away next year?
A little bit.
That's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
Comes with the territory, doesn't it?
I usually wait for when the dates come out because there's always the games I look at and I go, that'd be a fun one to go to. And then you line it up with the Husker schedule. Yeah. Well, that's an impossibility.
I mean, their home slate looks really fun.
Mm-hmm. They got the Bills coming to town.
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Bills, Dolphins, Jags, Seahawks, and the Rams. They get the NFC West next year. I think road games don't look crazy, by the way, for them next year. They got
back to you quickly. The Broncos have back-to-back years of whatever the NFC division they're playing the past 2 years has been. They've swept them. They're 8-0 against their other division that they've been forced to play the past 2 seasons. So fun fact.
It just looks fun. It's intriguing to start looking
because this year is the NFC East. They swept the NFC East last year. They swept the NFC South.
And they'll start looking at some of those key games next year. Chiefs at Bills, Bills at Rams, Bears at There's a lot of good stuff. But it's just interesting that it all of a sudden with the pecking order, it already starts to display. The NFL is always prominent and top of mind when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed that. I'm like, I wonder if he's looked already.
I was discussing. I'm not looking ahead to that. I'm looking ahead to a menu. I'm thinking. I just brought this up during the break. I think it's a buffalo chicken dip.
Woo-wee!
Kind of weekend. I don't know what main dish to go with buffalo chicken dip. I don't know.
I just keep the chicken thing going.
Just all chicken, all chicken all the time.
Just do
chicken wings, smoked chicken.
Just do different styles of chicken made different ways.
It's not that much you can do with chicken.
I was just thinking about wings and ribs, like throwing a really good steak fry with it.
Don't get me started.
Big old steak fry. If I eat fries, I like steak fries. I don't eat a ton of them, but like just give me the thick, like good steak fry. What if you had like you and your roommates have like a chili cook-off weekend? Can they do that? Or is that a teachable moment?
It could be a teachable moment. I make.
Is it BTA? No matter what?
I make the good chili in the house.
Is it BTA no matter what?
I don't think they're beating my chili recipe. Unless they've been taking notes and stealing from my chili recipe, they ain't beating my chili recipe.
Dare I say, Flex, and I got you. I like that style.
Oh, well, we'll cater in Slim's.
Slim's family deal. Sorry about you guys dealing with the stream stuff. I know, Elijah, we've had some issues with stuff here at the station over the last week or so, but they said that the audio was gone. Now it's back.
Yeah, I'm slowly working through how to get the audio right for the stream listeners in the new era we're living in.
Thank you, guys. Right now, well, it's going back a little bit. Justin, what's up? Justin was in the show as well earlier. He said somebody saw Tate Martell somewhere. At Arby's. Problem solved, he said.
I think 2.5 minutes here. Stories we missed. Do you have anything?
Let's we'll look.
We'll find something.
Why not? We'll find something.
The stories we missed. The morning hookup.
You know it's also like we've talked about transfer portal being wrong. The coaches situation is crazy. Are you following the Ole Miss LSU stuff with the CFP? Like with the Ole Miss coach saying, I don't even know. I think they're coming back. They're not employed by me. They have the option. That's a wild one.
Did you hear the
because Weiss? I think Weiss is back.
Did you hear about the on another note here with just the craziness of the schedule with coaching? Did you hear the pregame press conference with Dan Lanning and Kurt Signetti, where Kurt Signetti's talking about the fact like I got less time to prep for this game because I'm hosting portal visitors.
Like 11 or 13 portal transfers.
I'm visiting them in town. Like I have less time to deal with it. And then Coach Lanning fires back and says, well, keep on working on that portal, Coach. Do what you got to do there. We're dealing with the same thing over here, but I hope you keep on focused on the portal instead of on this game.
Their presser was really good. I think there's similar personalities that you're dealing with on that. But yeah, this thing is
it's just the college football schedule, the calendar that everyone has to deal with is broken.
Oh man. Because like if you follow this, like Weiss and Smith, the running backs coach and their OC, were at the game. They've been helping with prep, but then they flew back on Monday for recruiting visits and they returned back to Oxford the next night. But they're like, I would hope in that world that there's like an NDA or something that they signed to not like poach kids because I think they're Trinidad did say he's going to come back if it's granted. And also, I just also read that Kewan Lacey will return as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not like,
you know what? I hope Lane gets no one from Ole Miss. He'll get
Zero.
a few guys, but I hope he gets nothing.
It would be appropriate.
I wish nothing but the worst for Lane Kiffin.
Speaking who, if you're having the worst, tomorrow will bring you the best because he'll bring the best out of you. It's Henry T. Buchanan, Husker legend. I sent to him a text. He was all in cloud. I mean, it wasn't even 9 last night. He was out of it. So Henry T. Buchanan, whole lot more. You guys have a great Tuesday. We'll catch you on a hump day.